All right, you guys, so we are officially running the F80 M3 brake conversion on this car, and I'm gonna go over some of the pros and some of the cons. Obviously, the car is braking much better over the E9X brakes. Now on this E92 M3, you guys, I did have upgraded brake lines. I also had upgraded pads with EBC ceramic pads, and the braking overall was okay. It wasn't the worst, but it certainly had a lot of room for improvement. But cosmetically speaking, I think the E9X M3 brakes are pretty awful looking. They don't really look that good in general. The calipers almost look like unfinished. I think the 135 calipers actually look better than the E92 M3 calipers. And stylistically, I just think that the F8X M3 brake calipers look way better. So I don't think anyone is going to be too surprised that the braking overall is just better with these brakes. You're also gaining 20 millimeters of rotor up front and in the rear. So an increase of 20 millimeters on each rotor throughout the entire car, which is a pretty massive difference. Now there are some cons to be discussed when you do something like that. Obviously the caliper is much closer to the barrel of the wheel. I am running 18-inch wheels. If you guys run 19-inch wheels, obviously you're going to have more clearance. I just prefer having the 18-inch wheels, and it is overall a much tighter clearance. If you were to get a rock, you know, like this size or bigger in there, you would definitely scratch the barrel of your wheel. So if you are concerned about that, this might not be the upgrade for you. I am overall not too concerned about it. I don't think that I'm going to run into a problem like that. However, there are some people who express that concern in the comments, so I am going to be bringing it up. Now, as far as the pads that I'm running on this car right now, I am currently running the EVC red pads, which are these ceramic pads. These are known to be a very good street performance ceramic pad option for a lot of guys who aren't really tracking their cars, but just want increased performance with reduced brake dust. I've ran these pads on numerous cars, and I've always really liked them. These aren't track pads, so if you're expecting like a super bitey pad, this is not going to be them. But one of the other cons when you end up going to an F8X brake setup is you will see a dramatic increase in brake dust. You can already tell with silver wheels, these are going to get extremely dirty, and it happens pretty quick. These are new pads, so I am still bedding these in, breaking them in, and there's a ton of brake dust on these wheels. That's something that I noticed right away. You know, the E9X brakes that I had on this car really didn't produce that much brake dust. I had a very similar brake pad as well, and obviously the same steel braided lines, but in general, the F8X brakes are just known to produce a lot more brake dust. So if that's something that is a deal breaker for you, you may not want to cross over to these brakes. For me, not really that big of a deal. I think it's very manageable. You know, these wheels are actually not ceramic coated. I just sort of threw them on because I knew that they'd be a temporary setup for this car. My new wheels are actually arriving this week, so I'm actually going to be taking the front R888Rs, putting them on those wheels, as well as some new R888Rs that I ordered to throw those on as well. So I'll be running R888Rs on all four corners. However, the design of the new wheel and the color is just going to be a lot easier to keep clean. You know, brake dust and silver with like a mesh wheel like this is just always kind of a pain in the butt to have to clean and keep clean. Also, the new wheels will be ceramic coated, which just makes everything so much easier when it comes to keeping them clean. Right now, I actually have to physically wipe down these wheels and brush them every time I wash the car, because if I don't, just by spraying them off, they won't get clean. Ceramic coating actually does a really good job of making it almost effortless to clean the wheels. Pretty much just spray them off and all the brake dust comes off. At least that's how it is on my 135 that also is ceramic coated. So is that something that's going to be a deal breaker for everybody? Absolutely not, but I know some people are very OCD about their cars and about how much brake dust their cars produce. And just so you know, when you go to the F8X conversion, you will be producing more brake dust. In my opinion, having the performance upgrade of better braking is worth it. If I have to live with wheels that get dirtier faster, then so be it. So outside of that, that's pretty much it. I mean, these brakes are really good. This isn't a track car. I'm not driving this car on the track. At the most, this car will maybe see 1 or 2 track days in the future, but the majority of it is going to be street driven. I'm also going to be taking this car to the mountains, and we'll see how fast we actually get brake fade. If you are a dedicated and diehard track guy, I don't know if spending the money to go with this conversion is really going to make a lot of sense for you. You know, you're probably going to want to end up going with a kit like AP Racing or maybe a different Brembo setup. There are obviously a ton of BBK options for these cars, and not to say that the F8X brakes can't handle the track. I just know from what I've learned that some people experience early brake fade when running these brakes on the track. You can definitely upgrade your fluids. You can definitely upgrade your pads. But will these brakes work long term for a car that is a dedicated track car? Probably not. As far as the actual conversion, very easy, not too difficult. If you guys haven't watched the video of us actually going through adding these brakes onto the car, I highly recommend you check it out. There's a lot of good information in that video. We also have all of the links to the parts that I used down in the description. And furthermore, I am actually a dealer for a lot of different companies that sell BMW parts. Make sure you guys check out the new website, www.shopthickwhips.com. Little shameless plug, but I had to do it. I don't really have sponsors on this channel anymore. I try to keep this channel as sponsor free as possible to just give you guys straight content. Nonetheless, I think these brakes turned out really good. I love the color of them. The CCB Gold is just a phenomenal setup. Works really well with the darker car, the lighter wheels, or even if I wanted to go vice versa with a lighter car or darker wheels, I figured the CCB Gold will really work with all of those scenarios. I didn't want to go white. I've done that too many times in the past. I'm not really into the blues, the reds, the yellows. I think the gold just fits this car perfectly. But if you guys are on the fence about doing this upgrade to your car, I highly recommend it. This past weekend was the first time that I really got to drive this car in some fun roads with a bunch of my friends. The reason that it handles so good is because we really meticulously went through every little bushing and arm in this car, minus some things in the rear that we still need to sort out. But overall, everything has been replaced or upgraded in the suspension on this car, and it makes a huge difference. In the past, when upgrading suspension on some of these newer cars that I've owned, there's obviously some added benefits to that, and the car loses a lot of its body roll. But as I've learned with some of these cars when building them, really allowing that adjustability in some of the suspension components and using some of the best products that you can get your hands on, there is a noticeable difference between using obviously like OEM parts and upgraded monoball adjustable parts. Now, I don't think that everything that we've added to this car is going to work for everyone because it is a very rigid and stiff ride. I just prefer that because I like having that direct feeling from the car to my hands. I like to feel exactly how the car is on the road. A lot of that also has to do with the steering in this car, being that it's all hydraulic and it's not electric. A lot of these newer cars are very numb. When I go back to driving this car, it makes me appreciate how raw and just simple the car feels when driving it. It's very predictable, it's very direct, and it just feels incredible. So overall, with the state of this car right now, I'm super happy with it. There's really not much I would change in terms of suspension. Outside of suspension, we have a lot of work to do on the transmission. I'm going to be doing a complete transmission refresh. We're going to get into all of that in the future video, but this car desperately needs a new clutch, as well as some other things. Nonetheless, I'm really happy with how this car is right now, and I can't wait to dive a little bit further into it. Am I going to supercharge this car? Probably not. I don't think it's worth it in these cars, and I think that the way that these cars are set up from factory is actually really good. Some good brakes, some good tires, and a great suspension setup will take you a long way in a car like this. You're not out there street racing in a car like this. It's not that type of car. But for the turns, for the twisties, for the mountains, and even some of the track days, this is a great car. Basically what I'm saying is all of you need to go out and buy an E9X M3. No, but seriously, this is easily one of my favorite cars that I've ever owned. I love the E90 DCT that I had, and I'm loving the E92 M3 that I have in manual. I would like to actually add an E90 DCT to the garage again someday, because this car has sort of turned into my daily driver, but I would like to try out an E90 DCT as strictly a daily driven car. I think that that would be like the perfect daily. That or an F8X, somewhere in there. We're getting a bit off topic, but I just wanted to update you guys on the brakes. I said I would, and I absolutely love them. For me, are they perfect for everyone? Absolutely not. There are going to be some things that people don't like, but if you are looking for the added performance and benefit of really good braking from the F chassis, these are the way to go. Fairly easy, not too expensive. If you look around online, you can definitely find the rotors and possibly even the calipers for under $2,000 used. And then you just really have to source out the front spindles. I found mine for about $150 per side. So that was about $300 there. All the other stuff that you add into it is really up to you. Do you want OEM? Do you want aftermarket? And then it's really just a bit of time installing everything. But nonetheless, I hope this video helped you out. If you guys are interested in buying this kit, I'll have everything linked down below. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next one.